And we're live. What's going on, everyone? This is the Chill Tech Podcast. This is episode 9, and today we're talking about daily technology. What do we use for our daily? What tech do we use for our daily commutes to work and such? We're talking about The Witcher 3, the game that everyone says is candidate for Game of the Year, but their start was kind of rough. We also have some comments about Mad Max. Apparently, Mad Max isn't the movie that most men thought it was.
Oh.
Today with me, I have my co-host, Grant Fox. What's going on, Grant Fox?
Hey, Javon.
Hey, what's happening, Grant? How's everything going?
Graduation. Yeah, man.
Graduation. Hey, congratulations.
I'm out of here.
Also with us tonight. Oh, I'm sorry, Grant. What you say? I mean to cut you
I'm
off.
seeing all these suckers later, but I'm leaving.
All right. Done, man. You're done. You're a grown man now.
I've been a grown man. That's the thing. I've been stuck there with all these young kids. You know, it's all about swag and YOLO. I'm like, so when do I get a job?
Right. Also with me here, we have a new face. We have Michael. Michael's a guest on our show tonight. What's going on, Michael?
How you doing, sir?
How's everything happening?
Not much. Just getting off work. Feeling kind of good. Finally at home chilling. You know, doing pretty good, man.
I feel you, man. I'm so happy to be off work today. And, of course, you guys know, I'm your host, Javon LeBlanc. So let's get the show started. First things first, I want to start off with the icebreakers, but icebreakers has usually been just between us people on the show. So I want to kind of expand it for the people outside of the show. So if you're watching the show and you want to join into our icebreakers, go ahead and leave a comment below, and then we can address it probably in the next show, which would be kind of fun. Or we can also address it on our social media accounts. So, today's icebreaker question. If you had to choose between any smartphone you want, okay, but you cannot have Wi-Fi, you could not have cellular data, talking or texting, you could only use Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi enabled applications. Or you had to choose from an LG Envy Mono Touch phone with the 2.5-inch, display. Remember that piece of crap phone that was?
Wait, 2.5. That's
2.5. That's smaller than an iPhone 4. Oh, this guy though. Wow. Shh. Listen, like I said, like that smartphone that pretended to be a smartphone when smartphones came out, but it wasn't a smartphone. But that phone had everything unlimited, and then you got some like crap like Magellan, like GPS for your phone.
Yeah.
Or for your car, for your daily commutes. If you guys rely on GPS for your phones. What would you guys choose?
Michael, you want to take this one or you want me to go first?
Go ahead, go first.
Well, honestly, I'm not going with the LG Envy Mono. Okay, that's a given. Honestly, I feel like there's times I'd want like an S series from Samsung. There's times where I want something like simplistic like an iPhone. And then there's times where I want something like really ridiculous like the Edge, how I did that whole review on that, because that thing like really had some features that blew everything else out of the water and just made it so practical. But honestly, something that if I had to choose with a smartphone, no data, just all the Wi-Fi, probably an S series.
An S series phone?
Perfect size for your hand. The note's a little big. I mean, I'm getting used to it, but note's a little too big for one-handed use. S series, perfect size. It's probably one of the most famous and one of the most popular out there. So they have tons of accessories. You can buy external batteries, which Javon loves. We all know that.
Yeah, I do.
Being able to replace a battery. Strong Wi-Fi signal. I mean, honestly, that's my choice. An S series.
Really, just stick kind of like have an iPod. It'd be like an iPod essentially.
Kind of, yeah, but it does a lot more. I mean, yeah, okay. Then here's where the Note 4 comes into play. I mean, you have the stylus. You can do certain things with that, and it's more functional. So
a PDF mixed with an iPhone, because you can't have anything else but Wi-Fi connectivity.
This is more like a S series with a pen, but just huge on steroids. So maybe a Note. Maybe a Note.
Okay.
That's mine. A Note or an S.
Note or an S? All right. That sounds fair. Michael, what about you, bud?
I'm going to have to agree with Grant. I would love to have a Note. If you mean to tell me that I can't have cellular data and you're going to give me an LG instead, no. Throw in the LG. Just give me the Note. I would love the Note. Just the video capabilities on the Note series. I love the video capabilities. How you can just pop a video from your home screen, watch it. It's beautiful.
It's literally a mini computer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the multitasking capabilities with the Note. It's phenomenal.
Let's not mention the 3 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
But you guys look at it as like carrying around like a miniature laptop.
It is.
Okay,
yeah,
so.
Like having a tablet, it's smaller.
But you don't have a cell phone anymore. Now you no longer have a cell phone. Now you're stuck to just being in a Stone Age.
Yeah, well, look at this. Look at it from this way. You have Wi-Fi, and that's pretty much good enough. You have things like Kik.
Yeah.
There's your text messages right there. You have things like Skype. There's your calling right there.
Okay.
Well, actually, if you have iPhone, you have FaceTime. That's a lot more used than something like Skype. You know what I mean? Like, I want to say used, but it's more hip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kids like don't go, hey, you want to Skype? You're like, hey, let's FaceTime. You know.
For me, I tell you, I'll have to go on the LG Envy Mono Touch because I need a cell phone. I need a real cell phone, and that's just the thing.
A real cell phone?
I can't. I go to Baltimore.
You call that real?
Listen, if I can make a phone call anywhere, I'm good. That's it. As long as I can make a phone call anywhere,
you didn't rule out hotspots. And the amount of Wi-Fi locations are growing.
They are, and there's also public Wi-Fi, but
if you were really poor and had Xfinity, Xfinity is everywhere. You can go to any neighborhood has Xfinity. You'd be fine. You'd be fine.
I know, but public Wi-Fi to me, it's dirt slow. I'd rather just have unlimited, even though the LG Envy monotone will be dirt slow also. But
look at it from the pager point of view. I mean. Used to, like when everyone had the pagers, they saw, oh, someone's calling me. Let me go get to a phone booth. Yeah. If you're in a situation where you don't have cell phone data and you need Wi-Fi, it's kind of like the pager scenario, you know. It's not that big of a deal.
I mean, here's the thing, right? So let's say
less convenient.
So let's say that you are just stuck somewhere, and actually, I'm so sorry, guys. I have all my devices on right now. Let me turn off the iPhone first. Okay. Then the Android phone next.
Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh, right? I know, right? Just a little bit, something slight. Turn off the smartwatch. So no, all right. So no, but like I was saying, if you're stuck somewhere and you need to make a phone call and there's no pay phone or no public Wi-Fi, you know, you have to check into your woman and she's like, "You ain't calling me all day. Where you been?" You're like, "Well, I only have Wi-Fi on my phone." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna get away with that. What happens if you need to call the police? So there's one on, or there's a medical emergency, and there's no.
Dude, if you're obviously you need the police and you're being robbed, you say, "Excuse me, sir. You stop robbing me for 1 minute while I go connect to Wi-Fi."
Oh man, that's funny, dude. That's funny. All right, so let's go ahead today and let's start with Tech Talk. Now, every day we carry multiple devices with us to work, to school, and sometimes we just find ourselves lugging around too many devices, or some people think not enough devices. So I'll go ahead and I'll start off with about my typical day of carrying devices. For one, each day depends on the type of things that I bring. When I go to work normally, I carry one laptop, which is a MacBook Air. Then I also carry, which is a work laptop. I carry two phones with me, a personal Android phone because they issue me an iPhone, and I just don't like using an iPhone. It's not my preferred mobile operating system.
Oh, wait, what's all that? Oh, wait, there's the view counts going down.
You know, like I said, it makes sense. You know, like I said, I like to have a phone that I like to use on me. I carry that. I have my smartwatch on me throughout the day because sometimes it's rude. You keep pulling up your phone all the time. I get notifications kind of glanceable, and I look at my, notifications and things like that. I also carry sometimes a tablet on those days, so I can at lunchtime, so I can watch TV shows, movies, and play. I play Hearthstone at lunch every day. That's just what I do. I play Hearthstone every day at lunch.
You got all these things with you?
That's on a regular day. So some days I have to go to. Listen, so one day. Not one day, 2 days a week, I have to go to school after work, directly from work, right? So those days, I'm not carrying two laptops. My work laptop and my personal laptop, my tablet included, now is mandatory because all my school books are on my tablet. Then I carry my normal two phones a day, and I have a smartwatch on me. It's just a lot. But now, check this out. On the weekends, you never catch me with more than one phone, or two phones, because I have to have my work phone on me. But it's usually just my cell phone, a smartwatch, and another cell phone. And those days are I appreciate those days of simplicity without carrying around a bag full of tech. I mean, it's crazy nowadays. What do you guys think?
Oof. I mean, we're tackling a lot of subjects here.
I
I mean, one's work related, one's school related, and one's personal related. So
yeah, it's
kind of hard to compare all of them.
Yeah.
And then also, look at it from this point of view. I kind of like the fact that you're carrying multiple devices just for this reason. Let's say you had one device that did it all. You know, this company finally did it. They finally found this way to have the do-it-all device. You drop that thing, you're in so much trouble.
Oh yes, right.
I mean, you got your schoolwork on there. You can't go to school and do your schoolwork on there. All your work stuff was on there. Oh boy, you're in trouble. All your personal stuff, that's just inconvenient. So I kind of like the fact that you have more than one thing. That's just me. But it gets to a point where it's a lot and it's too many. That's just my thought.
Mean, I feel like it sounds much worse than it actually is. Because everything that I carry fits in a small Google bag, a tote bag.
Yeah, I was wondering how you were carrying all this stuff. I'm like, man,
it's actually pretty cool. He comes to class with this small little bag and just starts pulling out technology like it's like a Walmart in a bag.
Right, like
pulling stuff out of hammer space.
Yeah, So it isn't inconvenient. Everything that I have is light and because I also carry 2 battery packs. Also, I carry 2 10,000 milliamp hour battery packs on me.
Oh wait a minute! Oh wait, these are removable? Javon, these are removable battery packs?
Of course not. Of course not.
No,
everything is sealed tight and integrated.
Gotcha. I don't know what I was thinking.
But like I said, I mean, it's not just me though. I know a lot of people. Sometimes some days carry a lot of technology on them, and some people like it, some people don't. I mean, Grant, what do you carry on a typical day? Or typical days? Maybe it's different like mine.
Well, if I had another laptop, I would carry it around. Mainly, I just got the Note. I mean, that's because I needed a phone that did almost, like I said, almost do it all. When I'm away and I need to do something like plan out my next Vine idea, I can actually pull out the pen and draw it. And so I'll draw it like scene by scene what I want it to look like. And usually it turns out pretty well. So the Note is perfect for that. There has been times where I want to do something like movie editing, and that's where a tablet can really come in handy, or a PC. But I just don't have it. I could definitely see where I definitely use it. A normal day where if I was like editing films, I could definitely use that laptop or tablet.
Okay. So
maybe like 2 devices.
2 devices, you think? You think that's good for you?
I also had a Fitbit, but that's gone somewhere. It's kind of like the New Year's resolution thing. Like, I'm going to get this stuff done. The next day, hey, well, I haven't done those plans.
Speaking of Fitbits and such, one quick spoiler before I post the Android Wear review sometime next week. I feel like these tech devices that track your health are a little bit too generous, in my opinion. Like, I don't walk 10,000 steps, I think, on average every day at work.
Actually, you'd be surprised.
You'd be surprised.
You think so? Because today I was just like, you reached your goal for the week. I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. I think I know what's going on here.
That's not happening. But, I mean, if you think about it, like you're driving. Well, now the way I'm trying to explain it just makes it sound worse. But if you're walking from your car to your office and then you're walking around getting lunch, you're walking around getting coffee, you're walking around with customers, you're probably not going to reach your week goal, but you are going to reach a lot of steps.
No, you see, I know what's going on here. You see, Javon, these devices measure vibrations, and so...
Oh, my God.
This guy.
So what's really happening here is when Bay's not around, this guy's going... No, actually, it was either Jay Leno or Jimmy Fallon did something on this, and he was talking about how teenagers in these new health things, like the Fitbits and all that, were, like, reporting all these these bad errors with numbers, and so they were going down deep into why they're giving all these wrong numbers. And it turns out the range where the errors started coming around is like the teenage area, and so they were like, well, what's going on? Since they measure the vibrations of the phone, they're like, what's going on? And so really what's happening is these guys are just making a certain motion with their hand, and so it turns out to be that these guys think they're running miles, but they're not.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So how many miles have you ran today, Javon?
Man, I marathon. I'm trying to tell you, buddy. So Mike, so you have a special situation on you that you don't carry. You don't are not allowed to carry too many devices on you.
No.
So you can kind of give me both sides to this question. If you could carry devices, which ones would you carry, and what devices are you allowed to carry on you right now?
All right. Well, to explain, in my line of work, I'm in cybersecurity, so I'm in a no cell phone zone. Basically, you can't have anything that can record. Those are banned completely. So pretty much on my day-to-day, I'm only allowed to have one cell phone, and that's my Blue Studio 6. I'm not endorsing this, by the way. Don't buy it. Just get a Galaxy. I carry that with me. I use it for, usual calls before work, checking emails, all that. And I'm, like I said, I'm pretty much stuck. You see me at school. I'm with my phone and my books, literal books, and I hate it. Who likes carrying their English books everywhere? So
yeah, definitely. I hear you.
If I could, I would love to have. I would love to be able to get the NVIDIA tablet that you were telling me about. I would love to have that. Just
the Shield tablet? Yeah.
I would love to have that Shield tablet. I mean, it's not like I'm going to lie to you and say I'm going to use it for work or school, but I would love to have that thing around. And I'd like to start bringing my laptop. I wish I could. Just for like personal work, school work. It's just convenient. You know what I mean? I can
you found it.
Fitbit. He found the Fitbit. Wow.
Oh, darn, thing's gone.
Right?
It's empty. It's just a band. There's no. Gosh, man.
I'm sorry, Mike. What were you saying?
I'm lost. I want to kind of learn about the Fitbit now.
No. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I interrupted.
So you were saying that you wanted to carry a laptop for school and work on top of bringing an extra tablet?
It would just be convenient. Instead of carrying my books, I would love to have my books on my laptop. Just, carry that around with me. It's super small. I have a Sony Vaio 13-inch. It's super small, sleek, turns into a tablet itself. It works fine for me. So, yeah, I guess 2 or 3 items at the most would be fine.
Well, that's nice. I think that's pretty nice. So none of you guys mentioned smartwatch at all. I mean, do you think smartwatch is an appropriate tech to carry around right now?
It's stupid.
I
cannot stand.
I mean, something like the iWatch, that's a total joke. I mean, let's be honest. But things like the Moto 360.
I love the Apple Watch. I got.
Oh, the Apple Watch. The Apple Watch, not the iWatch. What was I thinking? Anyway, some of the stuff is actually pretty useful. I've seen like the what was the one by Samsung?
The which one? The one that has its own cellular connection and all that stuff.
I forgot what it was called.
The Gear Live? The Gear?
Samsung's, the Gear. Yeah, the Gear.
The Gear 3 or something, yeah.
Some of that is like, I can feel like it needs to have more functionality. Because if you're going to basically have a phone on your wrist, make it do the things that a phone can do. Or just do this. Instead of having to have the entirety of having have it be independent, like its own device, just sync it to Bluetooth, let the phone do all the work, and then just have it like another display. You know what I mean? Right. So I feel like
how it is right now with Android Wear.
Yeah, I mean, they can definitely have room for improvement, but the way it's going right now, I wouldn't get one unless I'm loaded, of course.
I do have a question for you. If you were able to, because I always thought about, I wanted to get one, but would you actually transfer, if you could just have the smartwatch with everything on it, with the capability of a phone, everything, would you just take that? Having that around? Everything through your watch now. Everything.
No. If you look at it this way, you're shrinking the hardware as well.
Yeah.
And usually, when you shrink stuff like that, you make a lot of compromises, whether it's RAM space or data space, processor space.
Yeah.
Smaller is not always better, and since I'm white, I know that. So.
That's actually I was thinking about that in the shower. It sounds really weird, but
this is how really weird.
I was thinking about that exactly in the shower because I was saying
me being white in the shower.
No. What the hell? I was thinking about Michael's question about if you can carry one device.
Yeah, what would it be?
At least why we do it first, Javon, instead of just go right to the shower.
No, I'm just going straight to the shower. No games, cutthroat. So no, but it's because I was some of the features right now with Android Wear and the Apple Watch is that you can put like up to 2 gigabytes or 4 gigabytes of music for offline storage via a Bluetooth headphone, which is really convenient when you're running. That was probably my favorite feature when I'm on the treadmill, is to sync my wireless Bluetooth headphones and just have my watch on me. Because it keeps track of my steps, my calories, my heart rate, and I get music. It's really convenient as a fitness, centric device. As a phone, here's the issue with that. If you have to keep headphones on all the time, you're more absorbed in your world. I always feel like if the headphones are on, your everything else outside of the headphones becomes less relevant. And I feel like as smartphones, we're already too deep into it as it is. We don't want to be deeper with headphones and walk around on our wrist instead of on our in our hand. Right. Also, speakerphone. I don't understand why these phones. I know that Android Wear doesn't currently support speakerphone for phone calls, but I know the Apple Watch and the Samsung Gear watches. Someone calls you and you answer your phone on your wrist. That's like, I can't stand it. If you ever go to Walmart or the mall or somewhere and people are walking around on speakerphone talking to somebody,
yeah,
that shit irks me. It irks me to the fullest. So I'm just like, I don't care about your conversation. A lot of times you're overly loud on top of that. They're loud, and then you're just walking around just completely rude to everyone else around you, because no one cares. And sometimes the conversations are like ridiculously inappropriate. It's like, there's kids around, and you're like talking about when you're gonna get home and bang your wife. You know what I'm saying? Like on speakerphone. It's
when you think about white boys in the shower,
there you go.
Yeah, right.
That.
Yeah, like I said, it's just. I feel like smartphones and smartwatches aren't something that need to mix strong. But before I close off this topic on the Tech Talk, I want to talk about the average, which devices the average consumer should have on them at all time. Because, Grant, you had me thinking when you made your comments about the phone and the tablet. I feel like if I was able to do, if things were my way, I would be able to do most of my work with just the phone or the tablet. Maybe I might need a laptop because I like to have something more powerful. But the way tablets are going, like I was showing Michael earlier in class, some of the gaming they can do, tablets are powerful enough to do stuff. It's just interface and touch screens and things.
Right.
But you can't get real productivity done with a touch screen. This is my personal opinion.
It is.
But
it's true.
Like editing movies and building spreadsheets and creating documents and stuff. A lot of those things are easier done, with a tablet and a keyboard case.
Yeah.
And then if you have your phone for everything else that you would do, like gaming, videos, as long as it's big enough, I always say anything above a 5-inch phone, you should be solid. I think those two, and maybe I would say for now, maybe a smartwatch as a companion device. Those three devices, I think every person should carry on them all the time.
Well, here's where the game can be changed. I'll make it really quick. This is where Samsung would slay, boo. They would slay. Like, they would absolutely kill the market if they did this. You saw that prototype where it was the one phone, and then they unfolded the screen to the tablet? This is where the whole thing would change, and this is why everyone wants this. I would get this. I would sell my left leg for something like that. Are you kidding? That's ridiculous.
The leg, though.
Yeah, not the right one. But, I mean, I'm just kidding around, but when it comes to that actual sort of stuff, when you have a screen like this, and then here's your phone, and then you can unfold it to be an actual tablet for more practical use. This could change almost a lot of things. People wouldn't be buying tablets anymore. They wouldn't be buying phones. They'd be buying this. It's a compromise. It's just as big, but you have processing power, the screen size of both.
Michael, you were talking about that in class. You did the same thing in class earlier about the foldable displays and things like that.
It's just that it's really convenient. I agree. I agree completely. That would be awesome if we could actually have that. It would be super convenient. Just think of it. You'd have your tablet, but you could fit in your pocket. You can carry around anything, and if it actually could hold that processing power, that'd be phenomenal. I would love to have it. You would only need one device.
They're going down the wrong road, though. They're doing the whole curve stuff. I mean, it's cool, but that's not what we want.
It's not functional.
Yeah. Well, actually, the Note Edge is, but the S6 Edge, that's just for show. Things like they're trying to make flexible phones too. That doesn't make any sense now because now you got to make flexible hardware. We're nowhere near that stage yet. Just make flexible screens. I mean, there's some. I'm most I'm not like the smartest guy in the world, but I can realize that just to keep the same hardware but make the screen flexible. I'm no genius to realize that that's capable of being done.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we go ahead and move on to the next subject?
Yeah, definitely. So let's go ahead and we'll move into the tech news of today. So the NSA released a document. Well, I would say released. A document was leaked by Snowden about the NSA that they had plans to deliver malware to the Google Play Store. Now, I saw this title on some very reputable sources today, from The Verge, from CNN, from Android Central, and I know if you think about this titles, you're like, oh, this is clickbait. This is 100% clickbait, but
right.
This is not new to a lot of people. This is new for news today. This is kind of a big deal, and I know this title could be misleading to some, but I know for a while that Google wanted to, and Apple actually, both of them wanted to kind of, not get into bed with the government when it comes to having them oversee everyone's personal devices. What do you guys think about this entire situation? First of all, just for the fact that the NSA has plans, we don't even know if they haven't done it or not. All we know is that the document was released saying that they have plans to. So this could be something they're already doing. They may have found a way or not. But what do you think about this? The NSA is in, or possibly in, the Google Play Store with malware.
You're trying to tell me that the American government is spying on people?
Right? Super mind blowing.
I mean, let's be honest, guys. This really isn't news. But the fact that we're hearing about it kind of makes me. It kind of comforts me. Not that I'm hearing that they're spying on us, but like the fact that we're actually hearing about it. They were doing it, and we weren't hearing about this. I love the fact that we have freedom of speech, even if it's wrong or even if it's right.
Yeah, I feel like Snowden's situation is a very controversial topic in a lot of different people's opinions. What he's doing, whether it's right or wrong. But
yeah, and that's the whole beauty about it. Even if you think what he's doing is wrong, at least you heard about it.
Right. Exactly.
If we lived anywhere else, like China, you wouldn't be hearing about this.
No, that's what's great about our country. At least we do have people that are willing to stand up and show what's going on. And please do not fire me for this. Please don't. I disagree with what the government is doing this. I cannot believe that the NSA really thought they were going to get away with something like this. It's kind of upsetting. I mean, where's the
they
trust?
Probably will get away with it, and that's the whole thing.
Well, of course they're going to. They're the government. Of course they're going to.
Yeah.
It's ethics that comes into question there. You know what I mean?
It's constitutionality.
Yeah, I mean, what happened to our right of privacy? Or do
it's still there. They just don't care.
Like,
that's the Fourth Amendment.
Do we feel comfortable with them, seeing what we're doing on our personal time?
Well, and here's the other thing is, when you go down to the Fourth Amendment, that talks about unwarranted searches and seizures of your stuff. That goes down to property, housing. I mean, you can argue in some cases whether it's your phone. So I don't know I'm not a lawyer, but I do know a lot about law. When it comes to cell phones, that's kind of a touchy subject because the government kind of has access to your stuff already. It's just whether they can use it or not. Personally, I think the Fourth Amendment should be attached to everything that you actually own. If it's your car, okay, but then you have the issue with public roads. But you see how it gets like iffy when it comes to your cell phone. It's not considerably your airways. It's public airway.
But like I said, but there's two sides to every coin, and right. I think the touchy subject is that there could be a lot of good, in terms of counterterrorism, these types of things, which are which we would consider public threats, national security risks. It's necessary sometimes to have these.
Yeah, but
these protocols in place to be able to do the things they need when necessary. But the problem is that it's not the protocols they have in place; it's the abuse of the protocols that they have in place.
It actually is the protocols because you can still counter terrorism, but you can still keep their rights intact. their rights are more important than stuff like
But
this.
here's the thing, right? Is that you know the law now. If you even if you're an American citizen, if you're convicted as a terrorist, you lose all rights. Period.
Yep.
You lose all rights. You lose the right to a speedy trial. You lose rights to everything. So you know, just being associated or whatever the situation may be, and once they label you, it's extremely hard to get off that label.
It's just a way to get rid of your rights.
Right.
The thing is, this is just history repeating itself. It doesn't take a genius to figure out. They're going to keep issuing stuff saying, this is for your public safety. I mean, look at the Patriot Act. This is pretty much what started this.
Mm.
I mean, you know me. You know how much
right.
I hate corruption and how I really love the Founding Fathers and the originality of this. But the thing is, it's just history repeating itself. If we keep letting them walk all over the Constitution saying it's for public safety, sooner or later they're not going to have any public safety.
Mm.
It's going to be them. It's going to be them causing the problems.
All right, I see what you're saying. So playing devil's advocate here, do you guys know of any situations where their procedures have actually helped in any way?
Yes, actually, yeah.
Should we look at that? I mean,
yeah, because I can name a couple right now. One being the situation in Baltimore, recent past with the rioting. They were able to they saw someone who posted a certain tweets that the tweets just was, they knew that they were looking for trouble. They're looking to be opportunists instead of advocates towards their causes. The message they're trying to receive throughout the protest by posting purge and things like that. So they went to someone's phone and they saw the things they're planning on doing, where they're going to be, and things like that. Now they could have acted better by having all this information ahead of time, but regardless, though, those are particular cases where people who abuse the internet and things like that, there are consequences for the action. So I feel like having some protocols in place to like I said, this is just playing devil's advocate. Like I said, having some protocols in place I feel like is a necessary evil to have in order to protect the people.
But it should be controlled.
Right.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're convicting them before they've actually done anything.
And the problem
is freedom of speech.
Right. And the problem with that is, well, not necessarily, because remember the guy who posted death threats on YouTube, and Google sold him out to the police department, and and they thought he's served and he's convicted for threats. I mean, there's freedom of speech, but there's also consequences to every action. You know what I'm saying? So you're free to say what you want to say. Just know that you might not get the response you want out of that conversation or whatever thing you're going to say. But like I said before, though, right, is that with the government having these protocols in place, right, are they policing the people without having anyone policing them? That's where I said, the checks and balances of things. How even within the government, there's people that check certain people. Who checks the government who are spying on your phones? Is it the people? Because we can't check what you're checking on us. No one's checking on them, and I feel like that's a problem in itself. You need to be able to have someone, that's in this side of things be responsible enough to look exactly at what you're doing. I feel like that's something that I feel like it's just making things inappropriate, and it's hard to be 100% behind this.
But I feel like we're getting a little bit stray from the original subject, but I just want to add this one comment before we either move on or get back on track. A wise man once said, you might know him, he's someone you might know, his name's Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, no.
He said, big government.
He owns slaves. He doesn't count.
He freed slaves, man.
He's probably your ancestor. Easy.
Oh, yeah, I know. Not me, though.
Easy.
Anyway.
My family's from Trinidad, so.
He said, big government is not the problem. Government is the problem. By trying to get the government to do more things, stuff like this, we're becoming more reliant on them. So they'll end up, in turn, doing more stuff for us, becoming more reliant like them. And then you've ever seen or played the game, totally lost the name of it. It's Freeman, the really famous one. No, the guy's in there, his name's Freeman. Shoot. It's not Portal, it's the one next to it. Half-Life.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, I totally slipped my mind. Half-Life. You ever played that?
Nope.
Have you ever watched it?
I've seen it on Machinima.
It's literally, this is what it could happen to me.
Yeah.
And it's just history repeating itself. Government is the problem. You need to keep it small.
Yeah.
And because now
So,
they're saying like they're reading all our text for our privacy. They're going through our emails for our privacy. Like, if you have a 93-year-old grandma, what do you think she's gonna be doing? Planting bombs? And even if she is, you gotta find the Fourth Amendment right to even get a warrant to read her stuff in the first place. You can't just do it automatically and bypass the Fourth Amendment. But yeah, that's my rant.
no, like I said, I agree with you, and I agree with everyone else who has their opinion too. This is a controversial subject, but we're still going to go over it regardless.
Yep.
Now, when it comes to the iPhones and Android phones, Apple and Google are already taking steps in place before this even came to our knowledge. With the release of Android 5.0 Lollipop and iOS 8.0, encryptions are now installed on any fresh installed device or any device that comes with it out of the box. Your device is already pre-encrypted. So, and Google and Apple both did not give the keys to the government, which went into a big, they both went into this big, legal battles and debates and things of why government needs to have access to these devices. And Google and Apple are like, no, if you need them, they can be issued on a person by person, case by case basis, depending on the situation, depending on the evidence, things like that. That's how you get those things. And I feel like that's kind of the best way to remedy both, the best of both worlds. You encrypt your device, you make sure things are locked up, but the problem is that if you look at some of the fine words, the fine coding in there, is that IT personnel from different police departments and things like that, and they're not able to hack these devices like they before, what they were allowed to before to do like monitoring for like drug trafficking and things like that, where they were able to like tap your phone and tap your your camera and things like that. They can't do that anymore, and they're saying that it's
Wait, it's like literally they can't, or they're not allowed to.
They're not able to because the tech behind it is that strong. Now, of course, I'm sure there's some departments that have techs that are probably more advanced than the ones that work at Google and Apple. But this is not something that the average technician. This is not something that I can go to work and be like, all right, let me go check your camera. Without now I can do that only because there's certain softwares that are installed on top of that allows the administrator of the network those privileges. But if you're not an administrator and your device isn't made for a work environment and you're just a typical customer who buys a phone, your device is encrypted and the government can't spy on you without, like I said, backdoors and viruses and things like that to break into that. What do you guys think about that?
It's basically it's having a gatekeeper, really. I kind of like that. It's basically having someone keep the government in check and saying, hey, you can't. No, we're not going to let you just search through these people's phones.
Although I do fear that... Yeah, go ahead.
No, I want to hear what you were saying.
I do fear that this one company, I'm just saying like hypothetically, like I do fear that one company will rise to the top and they will like just pretty much bend over for the government. They'll give them whatever
they
they want.
give them enough money. You're right.
Of course.
Because companies can always be bought. That's the dangerous thing. If the
my thing is,
money, I'm going to do whatever you want.
My thing is, now let's not forget that Google and Apple were both in the bed with the government for their initial devices came out. The public opinion kind of obviously swayed their motives, but Google, Microsoft, and Apple both were working with NSA, just 2 years ago, helping them get two devices and things like that. So it's not like they're not working together still. It's just that there's a layer between the protocols that they have in place. There's now a layer of serious encryption from a device level. No, not a cloud level, but like like the best way to get to somebody's computer if you don't know the password. If you need, you just mount their device. You plug it in to another computer and you mount the device. Mounting, something being physically able to touch the device, changes the dynamics of hacking and things like that. So having your device encrypted to a physical level, meaning that even if someone physically has your device, they can't get into it. I feel like that's a layer that needs to be in place, regardless of even the government. That just for a level of safety, as a regular consumer. Let's say, and any thoughts on this before I move on?
No, I think we pretty much covered that. Let me go ahead and move on to more tech.
All right, so let's go ahead and look at some game news. So in the game news, we have The Witcher 3. Now, The Witcher 3 was released this week, and it has been just the number one thing on everyone's lips. If you're anything into gaming, you already heard positive things or negative things. Now, I want to go on record saying that this is not a review on the game. This is just preliminary thoughts on the game thus far. Now, with Witcher 3 as a game, gameplay-wise, it's amazing. It is definitely a candidate of Game of the Year. I know Michael may disagree with with other games, but it's definitely candidate for Game of the Year. But the issue is not the gameplay, not the brokenness, not the lag or anything like that, but more so the fact that the game isn't optimized to run on high-end hardware, which seems absurd. I want to talk about the desktop users, people who play their games on a PC. Because when you're a PC gamer, you're buying, you're gaming. Your gaming experience. You're looking for something more complete than just a console gamers. You're looking for the highest end graphics. If you take it seriously, you want to run the highest end graphics. You want to have modifications. You want to do things smoother. The NVIDIA Titan X is the most powerful NVIDIA graphics card that they have available. The price reflects on it. It's a $1,400 card. So it definitely, if you buy this, you're future-proof for a very long time. I mean, almost 10 years of future-proof. That's what they're claiming. This card, matched with an i7 4970K and 16 gigs of RAM, was only able to push Witcher 3 at its max settings at 40 frames per second.
Jeez.
That, I said, now 40 frames is a playable frame rate, but it's by far not acceptable for the hardware that you're putting into that, that you're putting in to mesh with the game. Games usually run at 100 plus frames per second. I know some of the highest demanding games thus far to Witcher 3 have been, that type of hardware runs those games flawlessly at above 60 frames per second, which is the standard of gaming for 1080p. So I kind of want to talk to you guys about this, because this is something that I think is serious for, if you're spending a lot of money in your game as a PC gamer, and you're turning around and your game is not investing back into, you're not getting your investment back. Your games are running worse than they are as if you were playing on a console, which consoles have their own problems, which we'll get to. What do you guys think about that?
Grant, you want to go ahead and start?
I mean, they're definitely limiting themselves to a certain market, which is going to hurt them in the end, and the beginning, to be honest. Well, honestly, from my perspective, I would never get it. Money's tight, so I can't afford to get that sort of hardware, and even when I did, if it's still running 40 frames per second, that's ridiculous. Sheesh. I think they got to either fix the whole hardware issue, maybe it's a software issue where they just figured, we can just drop some of the specs that need to be done here and make it more applicable to more people, or they need to reconsider their market, because by not appealing to a lot of people that have average computers, what are they going to do? Only a few people can run it, and even when they do, it's like 40 frames per second.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, now some of the weird things is that if you have a low-end computer, this same game runs, I think it runs at a respectable 30 to 40 also on lower-end hardware, which is a little odd. Now, there has been a patch update for NVIDIA cards only right now that fixed this issue. I've not tested this game myself with the patch, so I can't speak on it on behalf of it right now. But I have seen some forum posts that it brings the game to a much more respectable frame rate with added textures and things like that. So I will say that the company's heard and their cries, and they're fixing these issues as a case-by-case basis. Now, as for the console people, this is something that I know that if you're a console user, this game is essentially broken in a lot of ways. Now, the console users, some of the biggest things I heard right now for Xbox One side is that if you're playing this game on Xbox One, you get continuous freezing, like the entire. Like, it's not the console, it's the game that will freeze in certain high framed areas. It will also corrupt save data. I know Phil Mercer, someone who used to be part of Chiltech, he mentioned it today earlier. You know, he was calling me asking, what kind of things can you do to help prevent this, and he tested it out with another Xbox. He bought another game. You know, it is the game itself. It corrupts once it freezes and it shuts down the game, and you lose your save data, and that's something that's kind of a big deal. I know PS2 is having this, lags. They're having sorry, PS2. Of course, PS2 have lag. No, the PlayStation 4, they're having lag. They're having frame drops. Things like that.
It's funny you mentioned the PS2, man. Like this old thing.
Oh, there you go.
This guy. This
right. That.
Right?
Look at
that shit in the trash. So Matt, you're Michael. So you're a
I'm an Xbox head. I recently turned. I used to be a Sony guy, but I got the Xbox recently. I love it. But to go on your point, I haven't played The Witcher 3, so I haven't experienced that problem. But there was a certain game that was released sometime late last year by Ubisoft.
Call them out. Yep.
That I paid $60 for, and it wasn't worth the $60. It just wasn't. It wasn't ready. I paid $60 for a beta game, and it's ridiculous. It's really upsetting as a gamer because now I'm scared to buy anything they ever come out with again, and they had a good track record, but now it seems like we'll come out with a good game, come out with a bad game. All right, now we got another good game for you, but now do you really want to gamble every time one of these developers want to just do something like that? It's ridiculous.
I totally agree. Which brings me into my next point: is that should the consumers of these, people that enjoy these video games, should we stop buying all games early, no matter what? Because it seems to me that the common track record since 2013 has been, a company thinks of a game, they announce it a week later, and then the game launches like a few months later after that, and it seems like it's still in beta. The game has to have multiple patches to make the game actually work, throughout the year. And then while that happens, instead of polishing that game, they're off already releasing the next version of that game, And like I said, Ubisoft is, to me, their Assassin's Creed, the last two generations have definitely been broken on launch. And you're paying for a game, that has DLC content and all this extra stuff. And these games are not cheap. They're $60, at the jump, and you're essentially paying $60 for early access, for beta access to a game that isn't finished. Should we stop buying all games in total at launch at full price?
It's nice to dream that way, but we know it's not going to happen because people love their pre-orders. Everybody wants to be the first one to play a new game. That's just how it is. But I believe the consumers, have to, we have to show these developers that, we're not just their toys. We're not going to just buy anything they put out. Mm. Yeah, it's really up to us to show them that, no, you can't just give us this stuff, and we're not going to accept it anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Like I say, it's to me, I'm fed up. I'm fed up with it. I know, Grant, you're not much of a heavy gamer, so I know this doesn't really apply to you.
Oh, okay. I'm not just calling shots here.
I'm just saying like heavy as in like the typical FPS, things like that. You're not a huge FPS fan anymore. I know you used to be I used to game heavy back in the day, but I know since you've been doing the Vine and stuff, you kind of step back a little bit, which makes sense. It's appropriate.
Be careful.
I'm just saying.
No, you're good.
If you were to buy, or like I said, I know you're interested in the new Star Wars Battlefront that's coming out.
Yes, I am.
I'm sure you want to get that game as soon as possible. So if you get that game and it's knowing that how games have been going right now, should you wait to buy the game without even knowing how it's going to play, how it's going to run? Should you just wait automatically because the fix and everything on it?
I mean, look at it from the how do I word this? You have one company that does really well. Let's say that's like Apple. It's a trusted company. If you were to throw stocks in Apple, you're pretty sure that you're going to do fine. There's another company, Google, throwing some stocks in there, you're doing fine. There's a new company out there, they've got a great track record, throwing some stocks, it tanks.
Mm.
That's an exception. So things like where you also got to go off probability here. I mean, who's the one? Who's the people that make Star Wars?
Lucas Games.
Yeah.
LucasArts.
They have a huge track record, and they all do pretty well. That's kind of like
yeah.
I'd be willing to take the chance. But it's things like the beta games, like Michael was saying, things like Rust on Steam, which is a beta game. Other games like DayZ, these are beta games, and they know it. So even though they might have a good track record, there's still chances. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the difference between chance and probability. Probability is like things like Apple. You know, they have a really high probability of doing well. When you have a somewhat low probability with things like Rust. You know, after buying Rust, I liked it, but then they started changing things. I don't like it anymore. So.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. I miss the days when we had demo discs. Remember those days back in the day?
Yes.
When you got a demo, you could try the game, see if you like it, then you buy the game. You know, I feel like that. You know, now they have demos for download, but it isn't marketed the same anymore. You know.
No.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can lose money that way.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's sometimes you got to give and take. You know, if you want to earn the trust back of the people. So let's go ahead and we have some social news for today, and that's going to go for the most controversial topic that's not government related on this podcast as well. This should be called controversy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this podcast.
We're all bases, aren't we?
We are touchy today. So, Mad Max. I haven't seen it. I'm planning on seeing it. I know, Michael, you're excited for it.
Yes, I am.
Are you excited for Mad Max?
You know, I'm going to be that guy.
Every week.
How do you see a trailer with a guy with a guitar with flames coming out of it and you don't want to see it? Are you kidding me?
I guess. I'm just not a big movie guy. That's me.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, I mean, anyone who likes boom, boom, and all the
Wait, they got boom, boom?
Yeah, boom, boom, son. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, like the explosions and fast cars and sand and storms and, you know, all like the stuff that you expect to see. And everyone's saying this is not a movie for men. Or if you are a man, and a particular type of man, this movie may be offensive to you. Now, like I said, I have not seen the movie. None of us here have seen the movie, so this is not a review of any source on the movie. This is just bringing up what's hot in the streets. Everyone is saying that Mad Max is a movie for feminists, saying that, well, this may be a spoiler, but I hope not. The portrayal of the protagonist, who's this guy, is actually not the protagonist. He's not even super relevant, and it's all about this woman and her woman journeys and how the movie is about woman independence and how powerful the woman is and how she can say no to sex and things like, you know, just things like that, you know. And a lot of people are calling it the Trojan horse of movies, or they're calling it the Hollywood leftist movies.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this? I mean, if for one, is a feminist movie bad even if it's marketed to be not aimed towards feminists, I guess? And
believe it or not.
And the other part to this question is, does it affect you want to watch this movie? Michael, sorry, apologize, bud. Michael, I'm gonna go ahead and start with you. What do you think?
You can call me Matt for the rest of the night, apparently.
Why have I been calling you Matt?
I thought you were just calling me Matt just because I was white. I was like, okay, we're white. We don't look anything alike.
All right. So to better explain why people are thinking this, one of the main characters in the movie is called Furiosa, played by Charlize Theron. Please don't butcher me in the comments. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I apologize. So she's basically out to save these women. And yes, like Javon said, it does have some subliminal lines in there that women shouldn't be used for, you know, just procreation. They're more than that. I don't think that's feminism, though. That's just it's 2015. We gotta move on. Women, they can do stuff that we can do, guys. We gotta get over this hump. I mean, they're.
Why don't you give me an example?
Let's
This guy. He's trying to.
No. I'm not siding here. I'm just saying, like, what? Besides pregnancy, I get that. Like,
what do you mean? You want to give an example of how women are, I guess, progressing? I mean, just look at how they are portrayed. Well, not portrayed, but how they are in the workforce. I see it every day in the office. I see more women taking more leadership roles.
That's good.
Have to be, and yes, I agree with it. It's amazing to see a lot. It's a lot of, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Integration. When I go to work now, it's not just the old. Sorry, don't get mad at me, but old white guy with gray hair in a whole leadership role. It's no longer that way.
Yeah.
You have people our age, men, women, younger men and women that are taking these roles, and it's powerful. I want to attain to that level one day, and now I have a shot because of what I see. It's more than, but I don't think it's going to affect me seeing the movie. I don't care. It looks like a great action movie. If I come out saying "Hurrah, women," and I'm subservient to women after seeing this movie, oh well, whatever. It's not going to affect you. Just accept
well, you haven't seen it yet, so you don't know. It could be a complete plot twist. What do you think?
Yeah,
I've seen movies where you can tell, like, you
You're
can smell how politically biased it is.
Okay.
I mean, did you want to add anything else?
No. Please go.
It's like here's what I've noticed with a lot, and this isn't just feminists. This is just any sort of group, whether it's meninists. You ever heard of these guys?
I have heard of meninists, and I have heard of meninists.
You always have to fear the extremes. If this is a really extreme movie, I probably won't see it. The thing is, like, this, it doesn't belong in here. I mean, of course, you always have freedom of speech, right? Do what you want, but I don't want to watch a political movie where they're just cramming you with bias. You know?
Yeah.
For example, I mean, I've seen, and honestly, I just don't like feminism. They keep saying, like, we're pushing equality, but I've also noticed that they're asking more for equality. I mean, more than equality. They're going for, they want everyone to be equal, but they want to be more equal. You see what I'm saying here? They want to be more than equal, and that goes for any group. But the thing is, it's such a touchy subject that they can point fingers like, oh, you don't support feminism, you don't support equality, you must hate women. Like, no, I support equality, but what you want is more than equality here. Okay. When you have,
I can understand that. I can totally understand that, because and a lot of it comes down, like I said, to education. How these groups, how they portray their message, a lot of times comes off as the complete opposite of what they're trying to. Like, a good example of that is modern day Black Panthers. You know what I'm saying? Where you're pro-black, and instead of being pro-black, which we want to integrate everyone, it's not just being, because as someone who I love I'm black, so I love black people. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't love black people any more than I love any other person, because a person's a person. I believe people are just, color, skin deep. That's as far as it goes. It's a pigment. You know what I'm saying? Your pigment doesn't justify anything other than the pigment of your skin. But there are people that are willing to go as far as saying that blacks shouldn't mix and things like that with other races, and that we should be only in charge of this and that, and only buy from black shops. These type of things. Like I said, it's there are groups that have the right idea, but then they don't implement it properly, and their message doesn't come out properly. So that's that. But Grant, I know you said earlier that this movie may deter you. Now knowing what's going on, this may deter you away from seeing this movie.
I mean, honestly, let me watch the preview, because I'll be honest, I haven't even seen the preview for it, so I can't make judgments like that. But the thing is, let me see the preview. If it's something I want to see, okay, I'll give it a shot. But the thing is, you always have that chance it's going to slam something down your throat, where it's going to be like, pro-feminism, accept it, or just be a great movie. I just don't know. We have to see it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Like I said, now for me, I'll tell you this. When it comes to I've more so on the lines of where Michael was saying, like I said, if I come out with this movie and I'm just like, it gives me a new sense of, I guess, women empowerment, then I'm okay with that. My everyone, it's no secret, my lady she's a feminist. She's and we have disagreements, not because of what she believes in, but on how she believes it. You know what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, I do feel like today women are disadvantaged, when it comes to certain things, and I feel like that isn't right. But when it comes to a movie, and I feel like the movie is marketed towards a certain, I understand the audience that the movie wants to get to. Pardon me. And the movie is supposed to be an action film based off this guy, and we're expected to see how this story plays out. If this is a side story in the movie, I'm okay with the whole, feminist role of the woman and how she progresses, because, that's what, that's kind of a good plot twist, right? But if they lose the fact that this, if I'm coming to see a movie for a particular reason, and it's not at all what I wanted to see, it does affect the movie. Whether the message was good or bad, it affects my rating on the movie, because there's something that you want to see. Like, you don't go to see the Avengers movies, and then somehow plot twist is all about Superman. You know what I'm saying? Like, like that kind of, it's like, okay, well, I understand Superman is great. He's a great hero. This is a whole different universe, and this is not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see, like, for instance, if you watch Mad Max, and it's all about like a big, like, if you see the trailers, it's very desert, post-apocalyptic, and you watch the movie, and it's like pure suburbs, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like everyone has, like, driving a Porsche, and it's nothing like the previews at all. Like, that to me would bother me. So I do feel like, as someone who wants to see a movie for what the movie is portrayed to be, I feel like it needs to stay along the lines of the audience, of what we're supposed to be, things like that. I don't want it to be something that isn't, what's the word? I don't want it to be something that isn't
what you want to go to see.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want it to be something I don't want to see. Like I said, like, I've seen movies like Gone Girl. I watch chick flicks. If I want to see a movie that's a woman empowering movie, then I want to expect to walk into that theater to watch a movie that's empowering women. I don't want, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be watching I wouldn't want to go see a movie that's empowering women and then just turn around and slap with, like, a rape scene. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, I don't. That would piss me off, because that's not what I wanted to see. You know what I'm saying? So, things like that. I just feel like there's time and place for everything. Yeah. This might not be the best time and place for what they're trying to do, if this is in fact what they're trying to do. Well, with that being said, man, today was a good show. It was very nice. Very nice. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy day, so we can do this thing for the people, man. I'm sure people appreciate it also. And if you guys appreciate what we're doing, go ahead and give us a like button. Hit the like button. Tap it a little bit, and then thumbs up and up and up. And if you don't like what you see, that's okay as well. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like. Like I said, it's okay. We're open to opinion. Your opinion matters, so let us know how we can make the show better for you if this show wasn't for you. Don't forget, guys, check us out. We have, we do gadget reviews. We had 2 reviews posted last week. We had a Galaxy S6 review, 2015. Also a 2015 review of the Galaxy Note Edge. Yep. And we have some more videos coming out. We have some more phones we're going to review, some tablets, and some watches. So if you want to be up to date with that, check us out. Subscribe to our channel. We also do games reviews too. We haven't done a game review in a while, but we do have some games that we want to release. Our gaming expert Adam, he isn't on the show. He's not on the podcast too often, but he does have a few projects that he's working on to release to you guys, so you guys can get some of those videos done. And as movie reviews, we're getting into movie reviews. We haven't posted one yet, but I'm telling you now, I'm actively working on one right now. It will be posted by the end of this month. I promise you guys. So you can subscribe. Get all those things. And if you guys also want to get updates on when these things are getting posted, and also what's happening around the Chotech world, like what's happening with our teammates, things like that, subscribe to our social media. We're on Twitter at chotechstudio.com. Sorry, not .com. At Chotech Studio. Our website will be up. Very soon, which will be chotech.com, as well as you can follow us on Google Plus at /plus Chotech. It's confusing, but you can find us even in the search menu. You guys have any shout outs today? Anyone watching in particular you guys want to shout out?
Yeah, there's this really nice gentleman over I'd like to shout out. He's a average white male, about 19 years old. He makes some vines,
Yeah. Shout out himself. The audacity.
No.
The audacity. This guy gave a shout out to himself. Oh my gosh.
Well, okay. The reason I say that is because 1, my graduation for high school. 2, because of this.
Okay.
I mean, I'll be able to give that to 9 people. I'm really proud of that.
And you should be. That's a very prestige honor. So I'm definitely.
They saw me tearing up, and I was like, no, I'm not tearing up. It was it was the tassel. The tassel hit me in the eye. I was tearing up. They all love that. But
nice,
the third reason is because just now that I've graduated, a lot of the Viner guys that I've been hanging out with, like Metro, King Vader, Kyle Flame, a lot of these big guys and girls, we're finally being able to meet up over the summer and do some stuff. And I'm really excited because that'll help me get my name out there and start growing.
Hey man, and like I said, I feel like that's some great things. And being graduated definitely frees you up for a lot of extra stuff down the road.
Yeah, now I can work.
Yeah. Like I said, you get to join us in this working force, which is not so cracked up, like it used to be. I tell you that right now. It's definitely.
I should have played football. I don't know why I didn't do it.
I'm telling you, man. I should have played. NFL was where it's at. I don't know why I didn't do it. The NFL is where it's at. What you might be? You even want to give a shout out to?
Hi, Mom. No.
This guy.
You know what? I'd give a shout out to Lauren. Thank you for dating me. Who else do I want to shout out? No one.
No one. Okay.
No one else.
That's nice. That's nice. No one would appreciate.
I feel like you've got someone in mind. Go ahead.
I do. I have someone, I can't say his name, but I have the CEO of a very important company watching this podcast right now, and so I want to give a shout out to you who are watching, sir. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this, as well as also have 2 other people that cannot be with us who are regulars on our podcast, and that's Matt Crosby, who I've been saying his name so many times. You would think that I love this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been saying his name so many times by accident. It's just so he's just saying it in every podcast. So Matt, thank you. Hope everything's going well. He's now moving to another state, so he's transitioning his studio and everything over there. So, congrats on your new place, man, and we'll see you back on the podcast soon. And Jamie, who's helping him out move, we'll miss you, Jamie, and we'll see you guys on the next podcast. Like I said, guys, everyone, I appreciate you all for being here. And Matt, sorry, why I keep saying Matt? I just said it. I keep messing up. I'm so sorry.
I said call me Matt for the rest of the night. I'm going to change my name to Matt. I'm going to change it on Facebook right now.
Right? Speaking of Facebook, Michael, where can people find you online if they want to find you?
Only on the Facebook, and I think I'm on Twitter. The Facebook. I'm only on the Facebook. And I'm on Twitter. I don't know what name I chose back then.
Oh man, this guy.
This face on Twitter, follow it. Just follow it.
Oh man.
So Facebook for our non-video content consumers.
Oh, that's for the old people, isn't it?
Right? If you're listening to this podcast, what is the URL so they can find your Facebook?
Okay, facebook.com/Mike Atchison. I'm on there pretty much on Tuesdays.
On Tuesdays, my man, on Tuesdays. That is a special day for us. That means that you are not doing classwork.
I'm on there only on Tuesdays. All right.
All right. And Mr. Grant the Fox, where can our good people find you at?
We should already know this by now. You can find me on Twitter, Vine, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And I think that's it. Yeah. So Grant the Fox, everything. No spaces. That's it.
Like Trinidad James, Grant the Fox, all everything. All right.
Yep. Grant the Fox.
And like I said,
yep, that's it. Yep.
I reside on Google Plus. You guys can find me at Javon LeBlanc. If you search into Google, Javon LeBlanc, you can find me in Google Plus. Or you can also go to google.com/plus Javon LeBlanc. I'm on there as well. You can follow the entire Chill Tech group on Twitter at Chill Tech Studios, also on Chill Tech on Google+. We thank you guys for watching this show. We hope you guys like what you guys have heard or seen, depending on how you're consuming this content. And stay chill, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.